Navigating the crossover slash sport utility vehicle environment is akin to using Tinder. There's an overwhelming, almost scary amount of potential partners. There is bad news if you find yourself struggling to commit in 2018. The product floodgates will open this year, and one of the first droplets comes from BMW in the form of this, the X2. This week we're reporting from Lisbon, Portugal at the international launch of the spunky newcomer. So let's see if this one is worth swiping right for, shall we? Since 2018 marks almost 2 decades since BMW established their presence in the category, we simply must take a quick drive down memory lane. You will recall that it all started with the advent of the X5 in 1999. Naturally, BMW had to conceive their own fancy label for the niche, and while the world might use the term sport utility vehicle, the suits from Bavaria lauded themselves for the creation of the sport activity vehicle. Semantics aside, the X5 became hugely popular, and BMW knew they were onto something. In 2003, the X3 was launched. In 2009, the brand launched the X1 and X6. In 2014, they launched the X4. The story will expand with the launch of the mammoth X7 later this year. We got our first glimpse of this behemoth in the metal at the Frankfurt Motor Show last year, and while its dimensions endow it with presence in spades, it is not the prettiest SAV ever to come out of Munich. The X2, by contrast, is much more pleasing to the eye, and the fact that its overall proportions resemble those of the Mercedes-Benz GLA is unlikely to be a coincidence or a bad thing. So you've heard of subliminal marketing. Yeah, well, the X2 seems to be the opposite of that. Just look at this extra liberal sprinkling of propeller emblems. X2 drivers will be like, have you seen my new BMW? This is my new BMW. How do you like my new BMW? Interestingly, BMW has only opted to sell the M Sport model grade in our market and not the basic versions. The X2 will be launched in South Africa at the end of February. The dashing frame of the BMW X2 is built upon the brand's front-wheel drive architecture dubbed UKL1, which underpins the BMW X1, the Mini Countryman, and is destined for the next 1 Series as well. Now, this recent practice of front-driving BMWs must have made life tough for the brand's spin doctors. After all, one of the hallmarks was the purity of rear-wheel drive and its dynamic benefits. But by now we're all accustomed to the idea that BMW is no longer defined by such things. I mean, the brand makes egg-shaped electric cars and minivans as well nowadays. At this point, you're probably expecting me to say that regardless of which way the engine is pointing or which end of the car happens to be driven, the X2 feels every inch a BMW. But I can't say that because driving impressions of the X2 have been strictly embargoed until after this broadcast. We will, however, be gauging our guests for their opinions on the newcomer in an upcoming episode of Ignition GT. For now, your engine choices are limited to the 20i petrol or the 20D diesel, both garden variety 4 cylinders available in a multitude of current BMW products. And if you're an apologist for manual labor, well, you're going to be sulking in the corner. BMW has actually not even bothered to offer a row-your-own option in our market. You can pick from a 7-speed double-clutch transmission or an 8-speed automatic in the 20D. The reason for the difference between the two gearboxes is because the regular conventional automatic is better suited to the task of shifting the additional torque in the diesel engine. Our market could potentially receive additional derivatives down the line, including 3-cylinder options, which would also make the car a bit more attractive from a pricing perspective. Connectivity is a major prerequisite in 2018, and the X2 panders with the 6th generation of BMW's iDrive system. You can have screen sizes ranging from 6.5 inches to 8.8 inches. The level of hardware is cost dependent, of course. The bigger setup boasts touch functionality, although you still get the good old-fashioned rotary controller as well as voice command. BMW pioneered the futuristic concept of a digital concierge service with its connected drive program, and it gets even more advanced here. One of the new features is dubbed Share Live Trip Status, which allows the driver to share their current location and time of arrival with friends, family, or potential Tinder dates. Any premium car in 2018 would be incomplete without the inclusion of some semi-autonomous assistance. And to this end, the BMW X2 is available with active cruise control and a traffic jam assistant that helps you out with steering duties, but you do have to keep your hands on the wheel. You can bet that the BMW X2 is not going to be a product that one describes as impressive value by any stretch. Expect pricing to range between 644,252 Rand and 723,854 Rand, obviously before options. Whether the X2's characteristics of charisma, vivaciousness and uniqueness will succeed in offsetting the stiff price tag remains to be seen. But in a country where many buyers choose with their hearts, we think more than a few browsers in the segment will clamour to give this BMW a super like.